Deputy Commissioner of Police Hubert Hughes is responding tonight to the latest string of allegations against members of the Royal Turks and Caicos Police Force. Hughes, in a telephone interview with News 4, says there are no criminal charges filed against the police by members of the force. Instead, just as News 4 reported before, the criminal charges brought against officers are from individuals who claim that they were either abused or victimized while in police custody. Deputy Hughes says they are private prosecution matters.
I have no knowledge of any other criminal charges being laid against any other officers, and I'm not aware of any information about the apparent criminal charges made by the police. Yes, it's possible that a victim of alleged assault could bring private prosecution against members of the public police officers.
Hughes says he has not seen any private prosecution documentation against any members of the police force. However, in a document from the Providence Sally's Magistrates Court, it reveals that Ariel Julian of Q-Town filed criminal charges against 4 members of the police force following an October 2008 incident in which Julian claimed she was arrested and beaten by members of the partially defunct Spice Task Force. Managing partner George Mizik of Karam and Mizik contacted News 4 earlier today and commented on the current allegations, stating residents have the right to seek justice in criminal matters, although members of the law are involved.
We are all protected by the Constitution, and no person should be assaulted, battered, wrongly or unlawfully detained by the state or the institution unlawfully. Any person is entitled to approach the courts for relief, to bring an action against the police, which would normally be, suit will be against the Attorney General, who will represent or act for the police. But persons have a right to bring such actions against the police. The police are not, again, above the law, like I said.
Mizik says law enforcement officials and other members of the law are obligated to serve and protect without infringing boundaries and the rights of a citizen, be it prisoner or not.
This type of action, the type of action complained of, does not happen. The police has a right to investigate. They have a job to try and control crime. But what they cannot do is step outside of that law, contravene these provisions in the Constitution in order to get a conviction or to get someone to confess. It's also one of the major reasons why confessions are thrown out in criminal trials if you have police officers beating a confession out of someone or violating these human rights.
Mizik says there should be higher consequences against members of the law who violate human rights.
Makes people know that this cannot be tolerated. If I do abuse this person in my custody or breach the trust, there are consequences for it. Consequences can include being suspended, being terminated, persons lose monies, it affects advancement within the force a lot of times.
Ariel Julian filed criminal charges against 4 members of the police force who were members of the Spice unit at the time, and Jermaine Reed filed charges against 5 prison officers and Sergeant Nigel Gilks of the CID unit. All have been summoned to appear before the Magistrates Court on Monday, November 16th.